Hello, today is Tuesday, February 23rd. This is a video for those people absent or need some extra help. First off, for our self-start, we need to solve and graph these inequalities. So the first thing I'm going to do is look at that and say, do I need to flip the sign? Well, if I remember correctly, you change the sign when the coefficient, so the number that's in front of the variable, is a negative. So in this case, yes, it is a negative, so I better remember to flip that sign. So I'm going to just rewrite it, and I'm going to do negative 5x. Instead of greater than, I'm going to say is less than 10. Draw my fence, and I'm going to divide both sides by a negative, don't forget that negative, 5. And I end up with an answer of x is less than a negative 2. So to graph it, here's my negative 2. It's a less than, so it's an open circle, and it's going to go in this direction here. For this problem, I'm going to look at it. I'm going to look at the coefficient to see if I need to flip the sign. So my coefficient's a 2, so it's not a negative, so do I flip the sign? The answer is no. So I'm going to draw my fence. I'm going to subtract 11. That gives me a 2x is greater than or equal to a negative 44. Make sure you use your calculator on that. Some people will get goofed up on it. I'm going to divide both sides by 2. And I get x is greater than or equal to a negative, let's see if I can draw it again, 22. So here's my negative 22. It is equal to, so it is a closed circle. Kind of a bad circle, but you get the point. And it's going to go in this direction. There's your Chuck Norris facts for the day. As far as information goes, we're going to call people in for lunch that need some extra help with feedbacks, whether it's to finish or to do a feedback, or then you just need some extra help on doing it. And just remember, please, if you're going to leave a binder in class, make sure you stack them properly. I'm looking at them right now. All of my classes look really good except for second hour. So second hour, I'm looking you on this one. So for today, we've done the self-start. Students will be checking their grades now that we have internet back up, since we didn't have internet yesterday. We're going to be focusing on keywords for inequalities. And we'll probably save this for tomorrow, but we're going to start moving into real life inequalities as well. So these are the keywords that you're probably going to want to watch out for, and we'll get back to these here in 1 second. So above, below, at most, at least, no more than, no fewer than, maximum, minimum, fewer than, up to, budget, and exceed. So those are some of the different types of keywords you might find for an inequality. So we'll just go through and go step by step and help determine what kind of sign is going to be required for each one of these. So above, so if I want to say I need above 10 feet, that means I need more, but I can't have exactly 10 feet. It's got to be more than that. So we're going to use a greater than symbol, not an equal to, just a greater than. But below, if I say it's below 10 degrees, then it's going to be less than. It's not going to be including that number. At most, that means that's like, if I can have at most 10 people share a pizza, that means that's like the absolute most. So I can't have anything more than that. So that means it's going to be a less than or equal to. It's okay if I'm at that number, but I can't have anything higher than that. At least, well, that means I need a minimum or the smallest number I can get, but it would also include it. That would be a greater than or equal to. No more than means that's like the absolute that's can't go any higher than that. So it's going to be a less than or equal to, because it's okay to be at that number. No fewer than would be a greater than or equal to. Maximum, that means that's it. If I can have a maximum of 100 people in a stadium right now, then I can have 100 or fewer, but I can't go any higher than that. So that's going to be a less than or equal to. Minimum will be a greater than or equal to. A fewer than, that means I have to have less than, so it's not going to be equal to. Up to, again, that's kind of like a maximum or like the most you can have, so that's going to be a less than or equal to. A budget, if I budget $300 for a vacation, that means I can't go over that. It's okay if I spend that much, but I just can't go over, so that's a less than or equal to. And exceeds would be a greater than. So these are definitely some keywords that you're going to want to write down in your notes. These are going to be very important for you to understand for this unit, especially for the feedback. So take a moment and copy these down into some notes. And we're going to use those to kind of help us out with some of these problems. So -3 times a number is no more than 21. So I'm going to underline my inequality keywords. No more than. So if I look back at the previous slide, no more than means less than or equal to. So -3 times a number, but it doesn't tell us what number, so that's an x, has to be less than or equal to 21. Now to solve it, first thing I'm going to do is determine, do I need to flip the sign? The coefficient, that number right there, is a negative, so it does need to be flipped. So we're going to change it. -3x, instead of less than or equal to, we're going to change it to greater than or equal to 21. We're going to divide both sides by -3. Don't forget your negative. And I end up with x has to be greater than or equal to a -7. So if -7 is right here on my number line, it's going to be equal to greater than or equal to, so it's going to be a closed circle. And it's going to go in this direction. So again, 2 times the number is more than 8. I'm going to underline my inequality keyword, more than. Well, more than, let's see if I can find it. Oh, I don't see it on that one. So more than is like a greater than. So I'm going to say 2 times the number, but it doesn't tell me what number, is greater than or more than 8. I'm going to look at it and determine, do I need to flip the sign? Well, the coefficient's a positive, so I don't need to, so I can just solve it. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2, and I'm going to get x is greater than 4. So if this is 4 on my number line, it's not equal to, so it's going to be an open circle, and it's going to go in that direction there. So we'll come to the real life inequalities tomorrow, so I'm not going to worry about doing those. But if you do have any questions, let us know, email or Canvas, and hopefully we see you back. Have a great day, guys.